Hello, it's Andy Graham of the Ask Andy Show. This is the, I've been to 90 countries, and I've 90 plus countries, traveled for 16 plus years. Non-stop, that means I've never lived in one place, one hotel more than 3 months. Oh, you think about living in houses. I think about living in hotels. One of the most stressful things you can do on the planet is to move. Today is the Wednesday. This is going to be the Wednesday update. Today is April. Let's see, what is it? Wednesday, April 30th. Just about May. I'm in the United States because I needed to return because my father died, and I have to go to a celebration of life. We have a special thing where it's May 18th. We're burying an urn where we cremated him, and there's a big ceremony. It's the same date as which my parents would have been married 62 years. So I'm pretty proud of them. But let's see. The United States is driving me bonkers. I'm losing my mind. It's like a never-ending mission creep. Mission creep is where you go, you go to the gas station, like NIPSCO, or we call it the electric. Okay, we go to the electric company to pay your bill, and you seem like you just walk up to a counter and you pay, and then they send you another counter, and then another counter, and another counter, and another counter, and it says, I just came to pay my bill. I thought this was just a simple thing, but because somehow they say, well, you got to go talk to this person, then you got to go talk to this person, then you got to go talk to this person. You go. There's nothing simple about it, and that's the problem I'm having in America. Everything I start to do seems to have that thread. You pull on it, and it just turns into a longer story, and you're going. I get real angry at YouTube videos. Now they got this hook, this link on the end, and I have to be real careful that I don't give you a link that's going to have you accidentally looking at 16 other things that has nothing to do with the main story. And this is a real problem. I mean, what we want you to do is stay on the thing. But the mission creep's killing me because my life is so simple, and everybody I talk to has this, oh, Charlie Foxtrot of a life. They want me to get involved in all their petty stuff. Okay, what's happened in the last week? Jennifer Decker from the Herald Republican interviewed me, and I actually, after the interview, I started interviewed her just for kicks. So I wrote this book, right? And I wrote a book, The Rules of Travel. It's on Amazon.com. Andy Lee Graham, The Rules of Travel, and think twice before you cross the rules. And she interviewed me because we gave one to the news. We gave one. Me and my mom went to the Angola Carnegie Public Library. Thank you, Carnegie. And gave one to the thing, and then she called up the reporter, and boom, next thing you know, it's going on again. It just keeps going on. But I was thinking about talking at the library, but I don't think I want to because there's no one subject that it's just too confusing. There's nothing, I like to talk about one thing only at a time. I'm not a multitasker. Even though my brain's highly capable of this, I do one thing at a time, and I try to do it right. And when people start asking questions about travel, it's just endless. And this minute they're all they're going to ask about is how to do their vacation, right? And I really don't want to talk about how to give a vacation. I mean, it's not what I really want to do. Okay, so I talked to Jennifer Decker. She interviewed me this week, and then I bought a ticket. I'm going to leave. Actually, today I have to do this. Is real early in the morning. Today is Wednesday, and I'm going to go down to Fort Wayne. It's about 50 miles from here. And I'm going to see my friend Debbie K, and I'm going to see some girl from Indiana University that she said is in town, and I'm going to see my sister. I'm going to see Fred Gray from the Journal-Gazette. I'll try to see some of my friends. Bruce, yes, an attorney, and Win Moses, I hope to call him. He's a friend of mine. He's used to be the mayor of Fort Wayne, but he's a good guy, real smart. Okay, well, we're going to go to Lake Offs tonight at 6 o'clock. I was sitting there. This is a hard thing when you come back, is they say things that I should know immediately where they're at. And we're going to Lake Offs restaurant at 6 o'clock with Debbie, and I'm still in my mind. I can't focus on where that's at. And I know Lake Offs. I mean, I know it. But your memories fade. And, oh, I got to go see Walt. Put notes down. Walt's a friend of mine. That said, oh, he must be 75 years, maybe 80 years old. I gotta go see Walt while I'm in Fort Wayne. So I'm making every day, when I do these things, I sit on this little page and I make a list of what things I need to do, and it's actually my home page whenever I open the computer. I'm going to go to my nieces and my two nephews, three nephews, Colin, Kyle, and Brandon. Well, Colin, I better be careful how I pronounce this. I keep thinking in French or Spanish. Colin was a director, something, of a movie called Animals. And they're going to have one of the previews in Chicago on May 15th. So I purchased a ticket, and I'm going to go to Chicago by convoluted, I'm going the simple way because I want to go by train to Chicago, and I don't want to have a car in Chicago, because having a car in Chicago is like more complicated than driving a car to Chicago to me. But I'm going to take some kind of computer train from South Bend Airport to Chicago, get off there. I hope to get just a bus or the elevated track, they call it, the L train. So they say L, and the L means elevated, and I will take that to a hostel and stay in a hostel. I might stay in the Arlington place, which I think they changed the name. And there's a real nice hostel there that's kind of nice, and it's big and spacious and whatever, and they have a real good kitchen, and it used to be $20 a night. I think it might be $30, but I might find another hostel closer that would be $20. I really have trouble paying more than $20 for a hostel. I think that's absurd. But I'm going to go to Chicago. I'm trying to get you the name here. What's the name of this place? Okay, it's called the Music Box Theater on May 15th. The show is one of the showings of a movie called Animals. It's about a heroin addict. Not your Mary Poppins show, right? But I'm proud of them, and they made it. So I decided that I needed to, while I was home, pay whatever it cost to see this on a big theater and do it. This is about the same as my book. I'm not putting it out on Kindle because it's not the best way to read this book, okay? And it's really a horrible way to read the book, actually. If you want the experience, you got to read my book, The Rules of Travel, in paper on a book and see the cover. I mean, that's what I really have problems with Kindles. I can't see the covers. I don't open the book. I don't even remember which books I read. It's just a bunch of words, and it just really is good to have all the magnetic cues to keep me thinking. I can't take notes on it. I can't underline stuff easy. I can, but it's so complicated. The book's just write it out, boom. And it's like a part of me. Every book I read is part of me. It's part of my memory. It's part of something that I owned up, okay? Okay, but I'm going to go to the music theater and see it on the big screen. Hopefully see my nephews, Colin. Colin was like the director, Brandon thing. They got a thing called Shipley Films. So I really don't understand what they're doing exactly, but I consider Brandon, well, Colin is like the, I don't know how to describe this. Brandon's like, to me, like the manager. Colin is the home run guy. He's the one that does the directing and stuff, and the big money guy. But I think behind it seems to be Brandon seems to be the stable force, and Colin and Kyle, which is the younger brother, which is really not involved, but he helped to make the movie with some famous actors. The one main actor in it was in one of the Batman movies, and was actually a heroin addict, so he made a movie about himself. If any of you guys are in these 12 steps things, I hope you get the humor of that. We always say, yeah, I was the lead in the movie. I'm going to write a book about my life, make it in a movie, and I'm going to be the lead in it. We have a joke we say, and they call them in leads. But ex-heroin addict. It's at 8:30 at night, so I have to stay there at night. I have to stay. So today I'm going to go to Fort Wayne, hang around with my friends, and then tomorrow on May 18th I'll go to Chicago. This should be good fun, because it's always fun to see how complicated America can make public transportation. Public transport in America is horrible. I can't even get to my house. I can travel. I've traveled to 90 plus countries, and I can go right to the hotel room with a taxi or something. In America, I finally found one way to get to my house, and for me to go roughly 60 miles cost me $110, $2 a mile, $120. So for me to get from the Chicago airport to my house with public transportation, or taxis and everything, costs me right now $160, and it doesn't do any. If I actually flew to the closer airport, it would be even more, right? So $160 just to get to my house, and then I got to spend all my time arranging. And this is the problem. It's not that you can't do it, but see, I'm used to just getting off the plane and just grabbing any kind of transportation that's there and whatever. With this taxi driver, I would have to email him 3 times, call him, and then he's going to try to call me back on my cell phone. I don't have a cell phone, right? Because I don't need a cell phone for America. And I should get off the plane and call him on a cell phone. Well, I don't have an American cell phone. So the whole thing turns into, and then these guys, when you call them on a landline that they don't recognize the number, they don't pick up. Now, I think this guy's pretty good. But I'll email him and then try to make sure, that's one reason I have a Skype number. I have a Skype number where the number actually shows up, so my friends will pick up the phone. But I'm going to take a small train, and the train is cheap. It's like $11. It's cheaper than the bus I take. I take Coach USA from Chicago. So I'm kind of excited to take this train. It's a computer train, but it doesn't go to O'Hare Airport. So it goes to the center of Chicago. Then I'd have to take another train. So for me to get, it's the number of connections you have to make that makes travel difficult. So for me, with that, I have a two connection trip right now. I go from Orland to South Bend Airport with Coach USA directly to O'Hare Airport with a bus, and that's $40. I can go to South Bend Airport, get on a train. The train goes to Chicago. Get on another train that goes to O'Hare Airport. But each time you switch okay, when you're carrying all your backpacks and stuff, every time you make a transit, you're in high risk, incredible high risk of losing something, because you can accidentally, like I got on a taxi in Seoul, South Korea, and I got out of the taxi. I left my backpack inside the taxi. He drove away. This is the kind of stuff that can happen. I was very smart. I just stayed in the same spot for about 10-15 minutes, and the guy was honest, and he drove back and gave it to me. So I just stayed exactly in the same spot, didn't move an inch, and waited for the guy to come back, because he had to be able to find me again, right? And we don't speak anything close to the same language, but he was a real honest guy, and he brought my backpack back. But any transfers, this is why traveling in Europe is horrible. You get on and off these trains. This is really confusing, because it's different languages and there's really nobody to help. And in most of the poor countries, see, we just get off the train, we get on a taxi, we go straight to the hotel. When you get off a train in Europe, you get off a train and you walk through the subway, and then you come out to the street, and you're probably on the wrong street, and you can't just flag down a taxi because it's going to cost you 50 euros or 30 euros or whatever. And they're in a different language, and there's, you know, a lot of different languages in Europe, and the countries are real small. Okay, most of them, I mean, it's really nice to have big countries like America. At least you can stay in the same language. But it's each transfer that causes problems. So I'm going to go to the Music Box Theater on the 15th. Let's see if I can find this thing. Okay, that's pretty much what's going on. But on the 27th of let's see, what is it? May, I fly to Vilcabamba, Ecuador, where I can relax and I can have less. I will go back to my normal walking around the city. No need for cars. Take a taxi. I guess Bob said each taxi in Vilcabamba is $1. Taxis are really nice. There's no parking. You just flag them down, take you to directly where you're at. You don't even have to know where to go. You just tell them the place and they take you there. There's no figuring out the map. No need for GPS. None of these things. No $4 a gallon gas. It's $1. The gas in Ecuador is really cheap, I guess, right now because they nationalized all the oil companies and took them back. Oh, I wish you would think these oil companies would put out would put hits on these presidents of countries that nationalize all their oil wells. But they don't. I don't know. Okay, that's the Wednesday update. If you have any questions, just email me. I don't answer all questions written to me by email. I mean, if you want to ask any question about travel and it's like whether your bag's good or whatever, I don't really answer them unless you're really a long-term reader. I really know you or you actually contribute to helping me. If you ask me a question that's to help you, but it's something I can make a video about, I'll do it. So be real careful when you try to do this verbal diarrhea on emails because first we have to be friends, okay? And if you don't tell me anything about you, we'll never be friends. So I mean, I want to know who you are, where you're from, and whatever. And I really want to know that because I want friends, but I don't want people that just have a one-sided, you know about me, but I don't know about you. That's just not a friend. Okay, Andy Graham, Hobo Traveler in Orland, Indiana, on the way to Vilcabamba on the 27th of May.